So when I write lyrics first, it enables me to just focus on them alone. And so, yes, the drawback is that if my lyrics carry a stress pattern that changes, that is varied from line to line to line to line, as poetry does a beautiful, I mean, poetry is all about the structure of the words creating prosody, the pauses, the breaks in the lines, the imagery, but that rhythmic nature, like you said, doesn't translate well always to music because my melodic structure would be the same
Right.
for for many lines to have that motif come out. So the way that I accomplish this is I always have a melody in my head as I'm after I get two lines of lyric in. I will be thinking, how am I going to sing this? That melody probably it doesn't necessarily have pitches yet, but it does have its rhythmic element. I can still stretch that rhythm over two bars instead of one, or I could sit it before the bar begins or after the bar or really late in the bar. I could try three, four time, six, eight time, 4/4. So and different tempos. So I do have some flexibility still, but I definitely um, don't write poetry. It's got a lot more exact repetition or slight variation, even if I'm just starting with lyric.
Yeah, and I like that way of thinking about it. It's kind of like a loose structure of melody, just to like remind yourself that this does have to fit into a melody, even though that melody isn't rigid yet, doesn't have notes, and it may not land on a certain beat, but it does have this kind of rhythm, and you're writing to like this loose rhythm that you know will make writing a melody that much easier.
Yes. Yes, it's so much easier if I've done a little pre-production with the lyric rhythms.
Yeah, because that's a huge difference from someone who's just writing, whatever sounds poetically nice,
Yeah.
just. But that's, I mean, that's songwriting. It's making that fit. I think that's a huge part of the art of it.
Right, right.
So
And a poem is just a beautiful journey, but a song comes to a point,
right,
which is our chorus.
right.
Yeah,
And you have
yeah,
to figure out. I mean, yeah, if you were writing a poem, you don't have to necessarily have this part that repeats over and over again, and for it to make sense within the rest of the poem. But in
yeah,
a song, it's like this poem that keeps coming back to this one part. So it's like, how does that part that's going to have the same words tie
yeah.
back into like the verse before it and the verse before that and then the bridge? So you have to be thinking about things in a different way, which can be tricky.
Tricky, super tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell people where they can learn more about songwriting from you, so that they can get some of these tools and that kind of thing.
awesome. You're so kind. Um, well, yeah. So my website andreastolpe.com has information about retreats that I do with the help of a few wonderful, wonderful people and guest speakers who will be songwriters with ultimately long lists of credits and great experience.
All right, so I hope that information helped you out. If you enjoyed that video, the full version of that interview is in our member site, which is called the Songwriting Success Circle. And if you want more information to improve your songwriting right now, I've got a couple of free cheat sheets for you that you can download by tapping on the screen here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel to stay updated on our latest songwriting videos, you can tap our logo on the screen for that. I'll also have links for that stuff below this video. So thanks for checking this out. I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.